How about my dearest YouTube friends? Today we are in a new video. Yesterday was the first day of the Sumo Nerfest. In this case, I am going to bring you all the news from the Supreme Nerfest. I think it is the first Spanish-speaking video to do so. So friends, it would help me a lot in a subscription, a like, and above all, activating the bell because lately the YouTube algorithm is leaving me quite out of the videos. So come friends, thanks to this news, we will know everything we did yesterday. It was talked about live for almost 8 hours. I think it was Summoner Fest, okay? From those, we started quite strong with a new chase in the same style that we had with Deadness. In this case, it is called Stellar Force. You are already seeing that the first champion that we are going to be able to get is Star-Lord. That on November 11, that is next Tuesday, we will receive the first piece for this new champion of this new Deadless style chase that I love, but friends too. What we've been told is that the fifth character will be this all-new piece of Dr. Dam from Stellar Force. I remind you that it will be the same as with the Daedalus characters to have a new kit and a new design, but the animations are going to be the same. So we will see how this Dead 4 turns out. I'm quite happy actually because I really liked last year's whole chase regarding all the Daedalus. So in this case, we will have this Dead 4. There are already 5 of them. Characters are okay, and we have 2 confirmed as Sol. This is not the first and the last to get it, which is like Thanos Daedalus, well, our Doctor Doom. So surely we have another Gautier, well, in this case of Stellar Force, which is Doom. Okay, let's move on to the following news. That in this case, they have taught us a new secondary mission in the same style that they brought it to us with the Fantastic Four in the recreational style, which in this case looks like it has to do with Duffler, and it seems like they have them old arcade game modes where you had to be dancing right when the little ball came up and hit it a key and stuff. Then we'll see how it goes. You also see the retro style of this new side mission, so it looks very, very good. What else do we have, friends? Well, we have a new game mode that in this case is called Assault the Fortress on Sol, which they have not told us much about the topic, simply that it is a competitive PvE mode, okay? It will be launched the following year in 2025, and surely at the end, a little bit in the last quarter, I would say of the year, okay, in which they will have to give more news. Okay, it's going to be like a style like a Clash of Clans. You put your defense, the other one puts his defense. Sounds like a Clash of Clans to me. So, you are going to have new ones, that new mode of games that at the moment we don't know much about, this Assault on Fortune. What else do we have, friends? Well, we have Rigur plus the new trophy character. Are you already seeing how they have improved the design of Punisher, and it is going to be launched in 2025 as a banquet trophy? Okay, in this case, what we have been told is that it is going to be completely redesigned. It is going to be similar to Jessica Jones and will be available in ranking rewards for this banquet. So, honestly, very few of us are going to be able to access this reward from this Punisher. In addition, we have a small probability of Banquet Crystals being able to get this Punisher reward. The revelation of what this character is going to be like, his abilities and everything will be the live broadcast in December. So we still have to wait a little bit to see how this Punizer and this reward work. But friends, it has not been left behind because the champions of the next associations are already designing them and teaching them to us. In January, we have JJ Jameson's, okay, he's gonna do a spider killer. It means that we are going to have a new pursuit against the spiders. Whether Spider-Man, Spider-Ham, Spider-Man, Pavir, such as Sevenon, well, in this case, it will be JJ Jameson of the technological class, focused as a separate attacker. He says, like, bring me photos of Spearman, which is the typical phrase that JJ Jameson has, apart this one at his best when you do what they tell you. So maybe you have to do some kind of missions is this one. Kit of the character aside tells us not to be a coward, enjoy a slow progression, and prepare to be surprised. Let's see what this JJ Jameson looks like, who we already know is going to be the character of this January 2026. Then they have also introduced us to the February champion Blue Marvel, a character who was also highly requested by the entire Marvel community. Okay, and in this case, we already have it in February with a totally awesome design. Look at the character in this case because he is going to be a character from the The scientific class is enough among his abilities since a living and immortal antimateria reaction similar to the immortality that Serpent has or that Hercules has. Apart from that, it has a unique indestructible mechanic with that indestructibility as an improvement. And apart from today, it has a ramp champion with persistent charges similar to Hercules or Hyton. And maybe we have the new Hercules in the making. Here it includes Overload and Crush. So we will see how it turns out because when in January acceptance, they present us to this one. I'm sorry, okay? Finally, they have also taught us that the champion of March is going to be Brixie, a champion whose truth is a mystery to me because yes, it is true that I like comics much more, but the mutant champions are true that I have them a little abandoned. In this case, we see that she is an X-Men, okay? And she is going to be of the mutant class. So the dream mutant girl, a carefree mutant sorceress, and she has a dagger made of her soul or magic. Let's see what the mutant character looks like. He will only have efficiencies in bread. What else do we have? Well, we have a new game mode, the Colosseum. The Colosseum is a new game mode in which summoners will face a single boss. In this case, have multiple health bars that you will later see gradually increase in difficulty. Besides, the more bars you eliminate, the more points you will be earning. The goal is to earn as many points as possible to get milestones with pretty good rewards. Other than that, there's no talking about emissions. It's just a gauntlet style boss battle. It's okay to remind you that we had a year ago. Besides, here we have the Veil video in which you will be able to see how those power bars work. Okay, in this case it is, well, you are going to see directly a little later. Look at how those power bars, well, they are going to be eliminated as we leave the percentage. You are already seeing S for 5, S for 4. Okay, in which they are going to be giving us more scores in this new Colosseum game mode. Is it worth what else we have of this Colosseum? Well, in this case, it can be done alone. Choose your fight in the initial menu. There will be a kind of menu, and the defender starts with an average level and increases without stopping. In addition, new game effects are added as you advance in the character's defenses. With each new attempt, the defender health bar resets to 1. Of the individual Colosseum. Points are cumulative and transferred. If you die or change champions, your points will be retained. Okay? Well, in this case, I have to tell you that both the normal Colosseum of Solo and Alianza, which we are going to see a little later, apart from that, we have multiple ways to play this Colosseum solo, and that it can be played both solo and in alliance appeared like the raids. There will be a version of the Colosseum for both single player and alliance. As I just said, both will have a similar game cycle with slightly different mechanics that we will look at later. The solo Colosseum comes down to destroying health bars as you progress your milestone track rewards, and the alliance Colosseum has additional elements. It replaces a feat of alliance during the week and is oriented. Achieve the highest score with 5 of your champions. You mean friends who are already trying to remove those tedious gestures of alliance? It seems that we are going to have 2 cycles of alliance, feat 1 of alliance route, and then this alliance Colosseum mode will come. Or okay, then we are going to have that rotation that we will see how it will work in the future. Then you are already seeing what the Colosseum looks more or less like alone. You are going to have some milestones to do as you are already seeing inside the glasses. 4 stars and so on, and we have to play the Duck and Darfinis as the characters we have to be defeating. As we win those fights, we are going to get more scores. Then we have the Alianza Coliseum. We have the breakdown that basically we have a kind of podiums, and it's better that the Alianza Coliseum is a new 3-day event and is executed instead of Gesta de Alianza. Players use 5 spaces of their champions, called podiums, okay? And a podium is a place to use a champion to throw against the boss of the Colosseum. You will receive additional point modifiers based on your active champion tags and your alliance's prestige, and prestige is very important again. Removing the health bar grants experience to move up to your podium level, which multiplies your score to 1 more. You can also level up your podium or the member to your alliance using podium upgrade tokens to earn revenue through units or whatever. The final score will be used for maximum sites and ranking rewards. You are already seeing how the Colosseum Podium's team works. It is valid in this case since Beyonder 7077 is the one that has the highest score and is using, for example, Professor X to Proximo Midnight and Hour to Silog. Okay? In this case, well, they're using that and 4 and 5 have it blocked until they reach those points. Nothing that looks very good about this Alliance Coliseum. Then also, the loot is for the winner. It has a reward structure, which the Solo Coliseum reward is unlocked within the game mode, and the reward is unlocked as you earn more points. But there are also 2 solo maxims for the Alliance Coliseum. But most of the good things in the end, the gold things, are going to be in the Alliance event ranked. Since the example at the end is like an Alliance feat, you will compete with the other alliances for the highest score possible. Here, they have also put us a ranking table in which they divide us both modes of Coliseum, both Alliance and Solitaire, and in this case, Alliance, because it tells us that it has fights against time with different champions to build 5 podiums, while the Sanitary Collision is always a solo game to earn points for your highest Mason without any type of timer. The second change is that the level of the podium increases. Is that it increases the level of the podium to boost the score of the entire alliance against the solo Coliseum, crossing the health bars until we or the defender himself is knocked out. Then the third change is that Alliance Prestige provides an active points modification, worth in which you will earn more points or not, while Solo Prestige does not, since it does not affect the rewards or characteristics of the mission. Separately, the fourth change in the Alliance Coliseum, as Alliance 20, includes maximum milestones and ranked rewards, while the Solo Coliseum progresses through a political reward system accumulated by points. So it's a pretty drastic and big change. What else do we have? So when are these modes going to arrive? Well, look, the Alliance Coliseum will be launched first this December. So the next month, we have this Alliance Coliseum. There will be 2 Alianza Coliseum in December, from December 10 to December 3, and from December 29 to January 1. We have 2 new modes of this Alliance Coliseum game, but in this change, we have to wait a little for the Solitaire Coliseum that will be released in January. Then we also have some kind of new form of ascension being invented by Kaban. I have to say that this infographic was created by Rich Devandale, in which they are going to create new resources. We have a new challenge ranking, new base stats, a new mechanic of blocking a kind of power, and we have multiple ascension ranks. Are you already seeing that, for example, in this asshole Sidian? 2 out of 11 comes out, we will see how this new care system turns out. Apart from that, we have a new shape in the game. It is a kind of bar above the life bar, in which it is power and ISO burst. 7-star ascended champions have access to the ISO burst 1, a meter on the health bar, indicating your current power that accumulates passively over time and increases damage similar to that of super attacks. When your power meter is full, your champion will automatically enter the ISO burst for a period of time. Champions deal more damage. During the ISO burst, the truth is that this power and ISO burst looks very good. Then we also have the ascension crystals that you are already seeing, like that lady from Strike, since she has a kind of different 7-star shape, and at the same time you can also be getting the ascension elements for this character as we have seen before, and separately, totally exclusive and new profile images. Then separately, we have this new form of tension, because everything is related, because it honors past investments in which your 7-star characters are of the greatest rarity. Apart from that, you have to maintain your signature level and keep the limited edition cosmetics. In addition, the power of the champions increases, since the statistics and classification of the challenge will improve. In addition, the new feature is unlocked. We have seen the power and Rafagaiso. Apart from this, with the arrival of the new form of tension, there will be new rewards to pursue, such as champion tension, class attention tokens, and new levels of primordial dust. As we have already seen, he is the tier 2 1. Apart from that, we have more opportunities for progression, since between level, rank, and extension, there are more opportunities to progress, and each champion matters, which is what is important. They have also not presented to us the groups that finally collect characters of both 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 stars are going to be important in the game. In this case, they are. For example, in the Science Collection, they are seeing that we have a species of captains with an important rarity, in which we will have a new and group section valid in the character section, in which they are going to tell us how many characters we have, how many ranks, rewards, also attributes, ranks. The truth is that this issue of groups looks very good. We'll see how it develops in the game. And finally, they have given us a summary of these collectives, that each collective rank provides bonuses, power for all the champions of the collective, and also other useful resources or bonuses. Each rank in a collective has a point requirement and may have game requirements. Points come from rank, skill, abstention, and as captain and champion of greatest rarity. The requirements of the game include missions, objectives, events, and challenges, and more to do how to level up and expand the range of characters so that not only the target characters are being used, but for example, Spider-Man, I know Spider-Man 99, which is not used much. Well, it is used even more. Apart from San Iran, more collectively carefully in the future. Collecting cantons takes time and we want to be deliberate about permanent decisions in the game. So in this case, it looks very good. And finally, collecting all the characters is rewarded. Besides, collectives can do more than we have shown here today. Okay, stay tuned that as they are going to give us more updates on this. And finally, to finish the video that is quite long, well, we already have the Doctor Stream reward that comes in January, along with the character of JJ Jameson that we have already seen, completely new model, animations, a new kit, and apart from that, a new way, as you are already seeing of the kit, is it looks brutal. And finally, to say that on this day 2 that begins, well, today. We will also be able to choose the next word admin. So friends, have you always liked the video? I suggest style and see you in other videos. Bye bye, and before finishing the video, thank you very much to all of you who are members of the channel, to JP, to Elian Ramirez, and Oscar Salmeron for being VIP Sorry this November 2025. To become a member, you have it in the video description. Thank you all very much.